Go.
Dr. Dennett, tell us what happened down in Brooks County, Georgia, where they call this group here the Quitman 10.
The Quitman 10 developed as a movement where some citizens got together and decided we wanted a change in our public representation. So we got together and we decided that we would encourage people to go out and exercise their right to vote. We did that very successfully in our July 20th primary of 2010. We had 3 African Americans that ran for school board, 2 at school board, and 1 for county commissioner. They were very successful in their run. After that election, we relied heavily on voter absentee, advanced voting, and just basically taking people to the polls. After that election, the population in Brooks County was very upset by the outcome, and the local district attorney initiated a GBI investigation. That was in July. After that, the 2 of the candidates that ran for school board were very upset with their losses, and they filed papers to be write-in candidates. And we challenged them in court on 2 occasions and were unsuccessful in that. They came back in November, and they ran the November general election in switching positions. We were also successful in that election. With election night, Ms. Diane Thomas won school board by about 500 votes that first night. Ms. Linda Troutman, who ran for school board District 4, was declared defeated that night by 60 votes. That was a Tuesday night. It wasn't until that Friday at 4:45 the superintendent of elections gave her a call and says, "Oh, by the way, you've won," and she had won by 9 votes. The person that lost again to her was very upset, and he had demanded a recount, and when it all ended up, she had won by 11 votes. We were very successful in our efforts, and all of our candidates that started in July were successful in winning. After they won and they were sworn in, and we started preparing for the transition in January, on December 21st, we were arrested. That's how the Quitman 10 developed. It was 10 citizens that the GBI, the state troopers, the local county and city officials came to our house at 7 o'clock in the morning and rounded us up like we were criminals and took us to the jail and charged us with improper voting regulations. But since then, nothing has happened. We have the charges, but there's been no grand jury indictments, and we've heard nothing from the district attorney's office since that morning.
So presently, all of you have been sworn in and you hold office?
Currently, we are. I'm sworn in and I was sworn in and elected in January as the first African-American president of the school board. We have a representation now that reflects our school board makeup. We have 7, it's a 7-member school board, and we have 4 African Americans, and I serve as president. We have a 5-member county commissioners, and we have 2, including our new county commissioner, Mr. Willie Cook. Yes, sir.
So you won the election, then they brought charges against you for voter fraud or something like that?
Alleged voter fraud, exactly. We won the election in July, and they created this investigation when the GBI came in, and they went door to door harassing some of the people that had voted, asking questions to the nature of, who did you vote for, why did you do that, who was in your house when you filled out your application or you cast your ballot, and things of that nature. We fought them twice in court unsuccessfully to stop them from being able to run again as write-in candidates on the November ballot, but we came back in November and we beat them again at the polls. We were still successful.
So what are they trying to do, in your opinion?
I think first it was just to discredit us as credible citizens. And I think some of the conversation in the newspapers led towards they wanted us to feel intimidated by them and to resign or admit that we had done something wrong, which we have not done anything wrong. And I think it's just probably the name slander.
Okay. I call you Dr. Dennett. Tell us, how do you get a doctorate?
A doctorate? I went to school. I'm an educator. I'm a speech-language pathologist. I did undergraduate and graduate work at Valdosta State University. I have a doctorate from Sarasota University and Augusty University in Sarasota, Florida. And I'm an educator. And that's another makeup, too. At the school board now we have 4 African Americans. All are either current or retired educators, which is unheard of in the history of our school board.
Okay. I want to talk to some other people that was there. Could you come up? You was one of them? Okay. You could take this out.
Go.
Quitman 10. What's your name?
Sandra Cody.
Your husband ran for county commissioner,
Yes.
and he won.
Yes.
Was you arrested?
Yes.
Why was you arrested? You didn't run.
I guess because I got out in campaign like everybody else, knocked on doors, encouraged people to vote. We had a lot of people that never voted before, and we encouraged them to vote, and I guess they got angry because we won the victory.
So not only the people that was elected got locked up, but if you worked in their campaigns,
Yes.
you got some jail time.
Yes.
What do you think of this whole situation?
I think we just have a very racial town.
I need somebody to give me the racial breakdown of the town.
I can do it.
Dr. Dennett? Dr. Dennett?
Yes. Brooks County is 64% Caucasian and about 32% black.
Well, how did you win?
White.
We out-strategized them. We went out and we knocked on doors and we had a plan and we didn't let people that were registered go by, and we went back and we registered people and they didn't see it coming. We've had a history of low voter turnout, and this time we changed that. We were determined, we empowered people by telling them you can do it, and it's your obligation to go do it. And we made sure they got there. They said they were going, if they didn't go, we took them there. We kept on until we got them there, and we got the votes in.
So you had less African Americans, was a minority in that county, but you had a tremendous voter turnout. And because you won, they think something in the milk wasn't clean.
Exactly. They suspected something was wrong because we came out unheard of before in numbers. We had less in population and less as far as registered voters and percentages to them.
So where do you go now? Where does the Quitman 10 is the people that got arrested for or got elected, a combination of that's why they end up calling it the Quitman 10.
We're the face on this movement, but it's far beyond us. We had hundreds that worked with us. We went to jail and we took the rap and saying that we were the ones, but there was others behind us that worked with this. Now we just continue what we did. We see that it works. It was right. Our people are energized. They're loving the results they're getting from their elected officials, so we're going to continue. We're on to the next race.
Tell me about the ministers' participation.
Our ministers, very highly visible. The first night when we were arrested, when we were in jail, they had a vigil outside. It was probably over 500 people, which is enormous for our town, to stand outside, and they waited until we were released. We were arraigned and released that night from the jail. The next night, they had a rally at one of the local churches. Since then, we've had like 4 or 5 other rallies and fundraisers and things like that. The community has really embraced us.
Brooks County, where is that located?
Brooks County is on the southernmost part of Georgia. We're probably 15 minutes from the Florida line. It's if you want to kind of visualize, it's between Thomasville and Valdosta, the larger 2 cities. It's a small little rural population, and we're just small, really small.
Whose idea was this strategy to go out and get all this voter turnout?
I can think it generated with me. I ran in 2004 unsuccessful for the first time for the school board, and I realized then what we were up against, and it was just apathy on the part of the black Americans as far as voting. I ran again in 2006 unsuccessful. In 2009, there was a special election, and I won. It was only after the government changed the law where absentee ballots, you could vote for any reason whatsoever. Prior to that, you had to be sick, ill, out of the county, or taking care of a sick one. When they changed it, there was no reason whatsoever given. And I noticed that, and I went back and I talked to people. I said, "Do you realize you can vote in the privacy of your home and not be left out of this process?" And so that's the voice we sent out. I was very successful in my election bid in 2009. And I figured we can, if it worked then, it can work in other times. And so we've used it ever since. And it really is just educating the people. These are your ways to vote. You do not have to be left out of this process.
That is absolutely amazing. And if somebody wanted to contribute to your effort to stay out of jail, I don't think you're going back to jail, but if they wanted to contribute on the effort that you're doing, give us an address or how to send some contributions to you.
They can email us. We have a website. It's quitman10@gmail.com. We have a bank account. It's the Quitman 10 Legal Defense Fund, and it's at Bank of America. But if you email us, we can send you all the other information. Also, you can contact our attorneys. We have Roy Copeland in Valdosta, Georgia, and Mr. C.B. King out of Albany, Georgia.
That's the legendary son of CBK.
Civil rights attorney, that's right, Mr. C.B. King. Wonderful. It's really nice to know that that day we were able to call, and he's about an hour's drive, within an hour he was there. Mr. Copeland was there, stayed with us until we got released that night, and they've been very, very proactive in our calls and just been very supportive. Wonderful legal team.
And your husband, how does he feel being county commissioner now?
He loved it.
Standing tall.
Yes.
Doing a wonderful job. I mean, he's represented us so well. Our efforts, I go to jail tomorrow if it meant having this type of representation that we have now.
You know, a lot of people in Atlanta and Albany and all these other places never heard of your county. And they think that a lot of people, like my hometown is Twiggs County, that's where I'm from. A lot of times they think people in them little towns don't have a lot going on, a lot of togetherness. You know, they kind of think that. But you down there
Organizing,
and we up here not getting that kind of turnout that you got down there running for office.
exactly. And I think it was the desire. We got together, we strategized, and we stayed together. We got this common cause. Like I said, we're on to the next race.
Okay, appreciate
We're not
it.
deterred by this.
Give us your full name.
Nancy Whitfield Denard.
Oh, you back to Denard. Those towns, we call it Denard. I was a Denard when I was in Twiggs County.
I answer to either one.
But
It's
then
spelled the same.
when I went to New York, it became Denard.
Denard sound has a ring to it. Same little Nancy. I'm little Nancy.
Same name.
Yeah.
Okay, and your name?
Sandra Denise Cody.
Okay. I want to go down, everybody that was arrested, I want to tell their name.
Robert Denard.
You're Denard and she's a Denard.
Diane Thomas.
Okay.
Latasha Head.
Lola Smart. Angela Bryant.
Okay. And somebody up here.
Would you